probably the worst briefing I've seen, at least on a military issue, in the 9 years I've served in the United States Senate. It's un-American, it's unconstitutional, and it's wrong.
Why not, in a classified setting, can our briefers from this administration share what it was, this threat that you talk about?
Well, some of that has to do with what's called sources and methods, Savannah, that if we were to share all of the intelligence, and in fact some of the most compelling evidence that Qasem Soleimani was preparing an imminent attack against American forces and American personnel.
One of the messages we received from the briefers was, do not debate, do not discuss the issue of the appropriateness of further military intervention against Iran. And that if you do, you'll be emboldening Iran. The implication being that we would somehow be making America less safe by having a debate or a discussion about the appropriateness of further military involvement against the government of Iran.
They thought that a war powers debate might send the wrong signal to the Iranians. I think they're right. They didn't say you can't debate. I think they're overreacting, quite frankly. Go debate all you want to. I'm going to debate you. Trust me, I'm going to let people know that at this moment in time, to play this game with a War Powers Act, which I think is unconstitutional, is that whether you mean to or not, you're empowering the enemy.
I also want to make clear that I walked into that briefing undecided as to whether to support the resolution under the War Powers Act introduced by Senator Kaine. Now, Senator Kaine and I have had some discussions. I've got some concerns with some of the language, particularly in some of the whereas clauses that he's introduced. He's agreed to make some changes. And I can say that after that briefing is what changed my mind. That briefing is what brought me on board, together with the amendments that Senator Kaine has agreed to make.
It didn't surprise many that Democrats were upset by it. You get the sense they were going to be upset by it anyway. But when Senator Mike Lee, who calls himself a supporter of the president and likes a lot of your foreign policy, said this, what do you say to people like Mike Lee who still are questioning why in a secure environment you're unable to give the specific information, or Mike Pompeo and the Secretary of Defense were?
Well, first, the president and I have immense respect for Senator Mike Lee. He is a great conservative and a great leader. But we've had differences on U.S. policy in the region. I know Mike and Senator Rand Paul opposed the self-defense actions that we've taken in Yemen. And we'll continue to discuss those honest differences of opinion with them. But let me assure your viewers, I was there every step of the way. And while to protect sources and methods, we're simply not able to share with every member of the House and Senate the intelligence that supported the president's decision